You're watching CCN, Clarksville Community Network, produced by Goodwin Productions. Powered by CDE Lightband.
"70 years ago, porcelain sculptures of birds and flowers were created in a studio in Trenton, New Jersey. Today, you can find some of these limited edition sculptures here at the Customs House Museum and Cultural Center.
Welcome to the 25th anniversary of the Boehm Porcelain Collection at the Customs House Museum and Cultural Center.
The Customs House is very fortunate to have a collection of magnificent Boehm porcelain sculptures, and we are so pleased to be able to share that with our members and with the public. It's a marvelous exhibit that has taken years to assemble and acquire all of these unique floral and bird sculptures. So being able now to have all those on display in one gallery is a very rare opportunity. That's why we're celebrating that as the 25th anniversary of the Boehm Porcelain Collection.
We've asked many of the people who've made this possible to come and join us today and help us celebrate the 25th anniversary of the collection.
I want to thank you all so much for coming out on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in February. I'm also so very, very proud and thankful for our dear friends, Judy and Fred Landiss.
The Customs House Museum and Cultural Center began locating and purchasing Boehm porcelain sculptures in 1995. This year, they celebrate 25 years since the birth of the Lucy Dunwoody Boehm Porcelain Collection. With over 125 sculptures, the Customs House Museum and Cultural Center can proudly say that they have one of the largest collections in the Southeast.
I have a favorite one in each case, so I don't have one favorite one in the collection. You can walk around them and physically see up close how intricate some of the work is on these pieces. That enables you to really appreciate how special these pieces are.
The gallery is wonderful that we have, but some of the pieces are always in storage. We just can't show them all at once. So this is the time to pull it all out, and we've dressed up in our best finery to show off the birds and the flowers of the Boehm Porcelain Collection. Our association with the Boehm Porcelain started in the late 70s when I was employed by Austin P. and my office was in the beautiful home at Emerald Hill, owned by Miss Mary Frances Cross. So Judy and I would go over and we would have coffee and tea with Miss Mary Frances, but we would look at the beautiful Boehm Porcelain collection that she had. She later passed away and gave her collection to the Clarksville Montgomery County Library. So our love for the Boehm porcelain continued. In 1994, we were working on exhibits for this new edition that opened in 1995. But we didn't have anything for beautiful exhibits. So we actually remembered the Boehm porcelain. People knew that we had talked about Miss Mary Frances' wonderful collection. We had no money, but we found a way to get the collection.
We did. So we came home and we wrote letters to 100 of our friends asking them for $100, not knowing we were going to get a dime, but we did. All of the 100 people responded. We started with $10,000, which enabled us to purchase the pieces that we had seen at Wakefield Scares. And so that is how our Boehm collection here was born.
And after that year, when we got the pieces here, everybody kept saying, well, let's get some more. And so that just excited us. And so we started a 15-year trip where we asked the similar 100 people and more that wanted to give money so we could buy new porcelains. And then people began to say, well, I'd like to have one in memory of my mother and father, or I'd like to honor my wife. We just want our name on a piece.
Edward Marshall Boehm created his porcelain studio in 1950, along with his wife, Ellen Boehm. A year later, his sculptures appeared in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. These sculptures now appear in over 100 places, including the White House.
Edward Marshall Boehm was the first American, that's the word you have to remember, American producer of fine porcelain. He didn't want a picture of a bird. He would rather have the bird to use as a model. He was so determined to form great porcelain. We've got an American exhibit. That's why presidents wanted to present it to foreign dignitaries.
Spectacular. They're just spectacular.
The real benefactors of this marvelous collection of Boehm porcelains is Fred and Judy Landiss. They have been dedicated and loyal supporters of the museum, but also this was their brainchild. And they've put this together through their own passion and desire to make something really unique and permanent here for the museum. And to honor a close family friend, Lucy Dunwoody.
One of the people we asked who were trying to raise money was Judy's cousin, Miss Lucy Dunwoody. She wasn't sure what she was going to do. We said, oh, Lucy, just give us something, you know, if you have any left when you get through. And she left $500,000 to the museum. And so we named the exhibit after Lucy, although none of her money went into it. It's been used for other promotions, other exhibits, but we felt like she deserved a name. She taught us to love the birds. We'd sit at her kitchen window and look out over the farm and look at the birds. And so she taught like birds and flowers. The original collection was birds and flowers. So Boehm did everything. They did other animals, farm animals, exotic animals, but nothing like his birds and flowers. And so appropriate to name it after her, after what she taught us.
We felt it was the right thing to do to honor her for her contribution to the museum.
And the museum collection is just exquisite. The eastern bluebirds that's here, it took 1,200 different molds for that piece. And most of the pieces are limited edition. So what's happened of the 128 pieces that we have, they've been adopted. So it's been a great source of continuity here. Everybody in town has watched the collection grow, and they're just as proud of it as we are, because we called everybody. People would avoid us crossing the street because they knew we were going to ask them for something. So this is everybody's collection. It's not just ours, it's everybody's collection. We're proud of it, and we're glad to show it off.
And it will always be part of the museum.
For current and exclusive content, subscribe to CDE Lightband, connecting you at the speed of light.